What up, y'all? So here recently I've had quite a few people ask me a question. How did I get started into the outdoors? Well, we're going to tell you that. I got my boy Lee here today. We're going to get down into it. What's going on, Lee? How you doing today?
Always outstanding.
Good to hear, brother, man.
Beautiful day in the Outer Banks.
Gorgeous day. What is it, like 70 degrees?
Yeah, something like
70 degrees. Got a nice cool fall breeze. Not quite the fall weather we want, but
hell no.
won't be long.
We've been trying to get on some deer and it's too damn hot to try to get on
Been too
deer.
damn hot. Too many smacking skeeters in the stand. It gets rather annoying.
It's the North Carolina state bird.
Yeah. So carry your ass away.
All right, let's get on with your story.
Yeah, let's get down into it. So how I got started into the outdoors. When I was about 7 years old, there was this lady that I went to church with, and she had this book that she had given me. I don't even really remember the name of it. I think it was called it was a book about fishing for beginners. Because first for me, before I got into the hunting, I was into the fishing. That's what kind of got the ball rolling for me.
Right.
So I read this book when I was 7, and I really took to it. I don't know, maybe not even a few weeks later, I went fishing. My dad took me fishing. We had some family friends that had a little farm pond. They were kind enough to let us go fishing one day, so we went. We went, and I caught some fish, and I was hooked ever since. But I feel like that book, that's just
What sparked it all for you?
yeah, that's what sparked it all. That's kind of what started all of it.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of.
Now you want to tell them about how you got into hunting?
Yeah. So I started hunting when I was about 12. Well, yeah, hunting, not hunting. That's a different story.
Well, hold up. Do y'all know the difference between hunting and hunting? So hunting is when you go in the fall, you go out, sit in the woods, maybe thin the herd, shoot a couple deer. Hunting involves liquor and flashlights. It's primarily known down south. So
Yeah.
well,
I started.
That's one other thing. We don't do a whole lot of hunting. At least spark what we're gonna say on camera.
Yeah.
But continue.
Back to my story. So I started hunting when I was about 12. My grandfather, he owns a piece of property out in Charlotte County, Virginia. He's got a little farmhouse. I want to say, I was 12 when I shot my first deer. I shot my first deer at that farm, and
Was it a doe?
it was a doe.
Hell yeah.
It was. And after I shot that deer, I really got into hunting. But of course, it took me almost 2 seasons before I was able to pull the trigger on my first deer.
It took me 2 seasons.
It can take a while, especially when you start out. There's a lot to learn, a lot of learning curves to hunting. All right, Lee, let's hear how you got started into the outdoors.
I wouldn't say I just kind of took to it. So basically, Santa Claus brought me a little single shot Ross 410, and so it all kind of started off with my dad teaching me how to shoot. I want to say I was like 5, 6, so I was young. Started shooting 410. The first time I shot that thing, it kicked like hell, and I was like, I don't like this. Switched over to 22 barrel, started shooting that, but also short got into it. So I was in 3rd grade, so I don't know how old I was at that point. Probably like 6 or 7. I don't know. Anyways, I was in 3rd grade. I just remember that much when I first went hunting. It was actually, that firehouse in the 2-lane road in Powhatan?
Yeah.
I was hunting right back behind there. I remember I was sitting down on the ground. My dad gave me one of his bigger jackets. I was freezing cold. I'm sitting here just shivering with 410 laying in my lap, like, damn, this sucks. And so just kept hunting with him that season. We were actually running dogs at that time, hunting with Powhatan Hunt Club. They were just dog hunting, which I'm assuming most people that watch your videos know what dog hunting is.
I'd hope so.
I hope so. I'm not even going into detail about it.
Some may or may not be fans.
Well, it's actually not even that prevalent nowadays. There's a few states left. Virginia, North Carolina.
Pretty outlawed thing.
Yeah, which sucks. It's a lot of fun. If you ever ran dogs, deer hunting, it's a lot of fun. It's a total adrenaline rush.
It's a way of life for some people.
Very much so. So, ended up just, that first season, didn't shoot anything. I don't even know if I saw my dad shoot deer. No, actually, I had a chance to shoot one, but I couldn't get a shot on it. There's 2 does busted out on me at Willis Track, which is that piece of property behind my house.
Yeah.
And he shot a nice buck that day. That's when we stopped shooting Remington Express.
Yeah.
I lost that deer. Anyways, so I hunted with him for 2 seasons. The second season is when I shot my first doe, and maybe we'll get into that story later on in the video of when we first shot. Both of us shot our first deer. And then so later on, so probably after elementary school a little bit, I don't know, probably when I was 10, my dad started taking me fishing. That's when I started getting into fishing a little bit. I'm not super big into fishing
So
now.
you started out hunting before you started fishing?
Yeah.
Okay, opposite of me.
Actually, I've got a backstory of how I actually really got into fishing.
Let's hear it.
So me and my dad used to go fishing all the time. There was a Powhatan lakes right up the road from my house, and we'd go up there and just fish night crawls or whatever. Never really learned how to use artificial bait, other than like spinner baits and crankbaits and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I met Austin and Nathan. We were on the bus. They had a pond in their neighborhood. And what would you say that pond was? It wasn't even a pond. It was more of a lake, 45-acre.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't know who Austin and Nathan is. You might want to just give them a quick little rundown on Austin and Nathan.
Austin and Nathan are two of my buddies. I've been friends with them since like middle school. We rode the bus together, and we live out in the country, so we won't really shit out there.
Two damn good friends.
Oh yeah, done a lot of crazy stuff with both of them. And so I remember they just invited me over one day. It's like, dude, come fishing with us. And we literally had this little 12-foot john boat. We used to pack 4 of us. We didn't have a trolling motor, using one paddle. Mind you, I was a big boy back then, so I'd always be the one paddling. And whenever the boat got a little too heavy on one side, I'd just be like, lean that way. I have to lean the other way, even the boat back out.
I feel on that one. I'm a big boy myself. Used to be even bigger.
So we just started literally fishing every day after school. We'd hop on the bus and be like, Lee, I went down to the pond today. We'd run down there, go run bank lines, trout lines. Well, we didn't run trout lines down there. We ran bank lines all the time, catch catfish. A lot of cool stuff down there. So we even used to bow hunt down there. So we had a lot of, there was no parents down there, so we.
Oh yeah, I'm sure y'all found all kinds of shit to get into.
Oh yeah, very much so. But I'm not super big.
3 14-year-old boys together with no supervision. Something gonna happen.
We had our fun.
Whether it's playing with fire, pocket knives, 4-wheelers, they gonna find something. Yeah, that just spells trouble.
Oh yeah. So yeah, fast forward to now, I'm not like super big into fishing. I go every now and then. I'm more into hunting. Really into, I don't really know what else I'm really into.
Well, whenever you go fishing, 9 times out of 10, it's with me.
Yeah, going offshore fishing.
Yeah, whether it's going offshore or doing a little trout jerking, something, you tag along here and there.
But yeah, that's pretty much my story. Just my dad got me into it, and just was always tagging along with him. So I took to it. Now let's go ahead and talk about the story where we both shot our first deer.
All right, I'll start that out.
You said you were 12 when you shot your first deer.
Yeah, 12 years old. I remember it was really cold. It was like 18 degrees, and
a little chilly.
Yeah, and I shot my deer in the evening. It was on an afternoon hunt, and before I went out, I was like, saw my grandfather. He was sitting down and he was eating a bowl of chili. We always ate good. When it was just me and him up at the farmhouse for a few days, he made sure we ate right.
So you telling me when your grandma wasn't there, y'all didn't eat good?
Oh, she still fed us good, but it was definitely more meat and potatoes, or some beans or something. It's my grandfather, he's a bean man. And you give that man a bag of beans, he'll blow your mind what he can make with it.
Oh, I'm surprised. So I guess that's where you get the cooking from.
Yeah, maybe. And you gotta thank my mama. She was a cook for a long time. But let's not get too far off topic here. But it was really cold. It was like 18 degrees, and my grandfather was sitting there eating a bowl of some chili or something. I was like, Grandfather, you coming hunting this afternoon? He was like, no, ain't no way in hell. It's too cold. I'm gonna sit right here in this recliner and watch some TV. I think he was watching a football game or something. He loved watching NFL football, college ball, whatever. He loved it. I went out there, sat in the ground blind. It's about 10-15 minutes before dark. 2 does step out, and I got all excited. You
start shaking a little
bit, and I
got that adrenaline.
I put my gun up, and I go to take the shot, and I didn't click my safety off, and I pulled the trigger, and nothing happened, and I flinched, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, I can't do that when I shoot. So I flipped my safety off, and I took the shot, and I hit her, knocked her down.
Shoot with a shotgun?
No, actually, I shot it with a 308.
Really?
Yeah. It was about a 100-yard shot. I gut shot her. Probably because I pulled the shot on the second time. But, and it was a tiny deer, too. I swear that thing didn't weigh but like 50, 60 pounds. I was dragging it back to the house. My grandfather, he heard me shoot, and he came outside to see what the hell was going on. And he was like, what, did you shoot a coyote? I was like, no, Grandfather, I shot me a deer. And he was like, oh. My man thought I shot a coyote. But Let's hear what you got, Lee.
We were just running dogs one afternoon. We were hunting. Actually, Ponton's where y'all took you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Pine Acre track.
Yeah.
Pine Acre. It's just all pines.
Yeah.
So it was the last drive of the day. We were kind of backstanding to the property. We had our backs to the swamp, and they were pushing towards us.
Yeah.
Well, there's one logging road right down the middle. So I'm standing here, the logging road going up this way, and so I was sitting there. I was getting bored as hell. I'm sitting there breaking sticks and stuff. My dad's like, "Dude, stay still." I said, "We got a good chance of seeing something." So of course we hear the dogs light up. They start burning ass, and you just hear them coming.
Oh yeah.
And them some bitches were rolling down the hill.
That's a special sound, man.
Well, it's 2 does ran down the hill. My dad, it was a doe day, so he was able to shoot one. He shot the first doe. I shot at her. Just ran to him. He shot again or whatever. Second doe came up. I shot her ass twice. She dropped. And that was the first time I'd cut loose. I was hunting with a little semi-automatic Charles Daly 20 gauge.
Yeah.
And that was the first time me cutting loose on a deer. And I was shaking and all excited.
I bet.
Well, she picked her head back up. I put the bead on her and pulled the trigger. My dad's like, "Dude, you should have just left her. Like, you just wasted a shell. She'd have died anyways." And so that night, I remember we went back up to the hunt club, and I was all excited because I was like, "We're gonna cut this deer up. We're cooking this son of a bitch tonight."
Oh yeah.
Of course, I didn't say son of a bitch. Just kind of threw that in there. It didn't turn out that good. So I remember Ray was the one that was cooking it. We didn't have any canola oil or any olive oil, nothing. So of course, we're just battering it, frying it like flour. So we had to use butter on one of those electric griddles.
Hey,
Yeah, it didn't turn out
not that good.
No.
That's kind of a bust.
Yeah, I was all excited for some deer.
Yeah, you're all excited. Just shot your first deer. Can't wait to cook it up, and yeah.
Because my
tough.
hunt club, that's what we used to do after the hunts. Is we'd always cook up deer meat, potatoes, have a good time. The older guys, they would always shoot the shit, drink a few beers, and have a good time up there.
When I shot my first deer, of course, my grandfather taught me how to skin it out and gut it and everything. And that night, of course, we had backstrap for dinner, and he cooked a couple pieces up, and he was like, "Try this," and I tried it. It was so good. I sat there after he finished cooking it on. I counted out all the pieces to make sure we split it up evenly. He thought that was the funniest shit in the world. He was like, "You over here counting that shit up?"
I don't count. I just grab handfuls of that shit.
Yep.
It's actually funny. Is I never really liked deer meat at first. My dad had to force it to me and forced me to eat it. Yeah, because I was sitting there and he was like, "Dude, try this." I'm like, "No, I'm good." And this is before I shot my first deer. And then he finally was like, "Look, take this, stick it in your mouth and eat it." And I ate it. I was like, "Dude, that's good."
Good. Well, hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I think those are two pretty good stories.
You got anything else you want to add to those?
I don't think so, man. I think we're good to go.
I got something I want to add.
What you got?
All right, so he hadn't said it yet, but we're gonna go ahead and leave a link to my Instagram, my YouTube. Y'all go run it up.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch y'all next time.